What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I want to talk about Rift Watchers, and I got to give a shout out to Icyflow, I believe, who is the inspiration for this video. Now, this is just through live streams and conversations with Icyflow about potentially having some kind of burn mechanism, right, for Rift Watchers, except, we don't actually want to burn the packs. We want that value to either go into the DAO or into the ecosystem. So we don't want to just get rid of the packs. And so even though that idea has been floated around, I have a different idea, which is going to be following the GLG model of raising the price over time. So my question, or at least a proposal that I'm not saying that I'm even supporting this. I'm just putting ideas out there into the mix to see what people think. But the idea basically is, if we were to follow something similar to a GLG model, what if we did something where it's just like, okay, after 3 months or 4 months, whatever it is, right? A set amount of time, the price of Rift Watcher packs, again, they're being sold by the DAO, but the price of Rift Watcher packs would go up to maybe $6 or maybe $7, right? We could have something drastic where it could go to like $7.50 and then $10 and $15, whatever the case is, similar to what GLG is doing, Genesis League Goals. And the reason I'm focusing on Genesis League Goals is because I do believe that that is being used as kind of like a template or a preview of what we may be able to expect with Rebellion when it comes out. So here's the main question when it comes to this. And before we even go any further, I'm going to put this out to you guys. But should there be a sense of urgency with Rift Watchers with these mini sets, or even just with the main sets too? Is there something, should there be a mechanism in place where they are only available for a certain amount of time? Now, obviously, this isn't going to be time-based in the sense that they will no longer be available, but they will increase in value over time. We're not actually going to be burning them the way that we did with Chaos Legion, and the way that we may do with Rebellion in the future, where Aggie wants to implement this kind of like ongoing burn model. So obviously, we want this value to go to the DAO. I would never, ever, either the DAO or the ecosystem, right? And the difference between that is the money, the value can go to the DAO, or if we switch it to Rift Watchers for DEC and then we burn the DEC, that value is then going to the ecosystem. But we want to make sure that those packs are doing something and not just burning away without ever being minted, or at least sold. So that's the main question, is like, do we want that? Do we feel like that is something that's necessary? Keep in mind that we as SPS stakers do have dominion over Rift Watchers as it is being sold by the DAO. So it's something that, we can make a decision on, because obviously we can choose what to sell it in. There'll be a proposal for that probably very soon. So that's my main question here. I'm wondering if it would spur sales. Now, the counter argument, which I think is going to come on very strong, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it, is that here we go again, just trying to milk people, the same player base. We are just, giving these short periods of time where cards are available, and essentially pushing people to just keep on spending and spending and spending. Well, okay, at the end of the day, like, you're gonna have to come to terms with some of that. Like, this is a business, this is a project that is going to continue selling, selling items, selling packs, selling cards. What's unique about Rift Watchers, though, compared to Chaos Legion, is the fact that this value is all going back to SPS stakeholders or to the ecosystem as a whole. So as ecosystem participants, as SPS stakeholders, I do think that maybe there should be some kind of time limit. And granted, it wasn't there when we started, but we're already over 6 months into the sale of Rift Watchers. And I'm wondering if it's something that should be considered at this point. Again, in addition to potentially the Rift Watchers for DEC. Now, those two can be, they are somewhat independent of each other, right? Rift Watchers for DEC is essentially just changing the price to 5,000 DEC, and therefore people would be able to take advantages of whenever DEC was below its peg. And right now, for example, you'd be able to get a 15% discount on Rift Watcher packs. Whereas the time mechanic, or the, I don't want to call it the burn mechanic, but the increased pricing mechanic would give that sense of urgency where it's just like, ooh, we're coming up to the last whatever, right? Or, last amount of time. Maybe we should start raising the price. Now, Conversely, or I guess not conversely, but in a different way, GLG isn't doing this from a time-based format. They're doing it from a pack-based format. So we could do it where it's like, okay, once we get to 1.5 million, the prices go up. Then once we get to 2 million sold, prices go up in 2.5 million, right? So what I'm proposing isn't necessarily following GLG to the T, but just because I'm wondering if this is something that should be done on a timed basis. That's kind of just where my head is at. Now, what is the value of doing this, or what is the reason for doing it? Well, one big major plus, in my opinion, is that it helps to retain the value of cards. And that's kind of what I'm excited for with GLG. And then if the team decides to do something like this with Rebellion, it's as the packs get more expensive, as more and more cards get out into circulation, the idea is that, like, okay, well, the cards should help, retain their value a little bit. Again, we're kind of ignoring the burn, the burn value that they have, but it's just like, if the cards are scarce, right, and packs are only getting more expensive, then that could be one anchor to keep the packs to keep the packs and therefore the cards at a higher value. Now, this could backfire because we haven't actually seen it in practice. It's all just theory right now, where the packs just keep going higher and higher in value, and nobody buys them, right? Like, they could all of a sudden, like, we get to the end of whatever cycle and Riftwatcher packs are now selling for $25 a pop and we haven't sold any, right? Is that going to pull the card value up? I mean, maybe, but again, it all depends on what the demand for the cards are. Now, again, taking this back to the positive side, I do think that I do think that the cards in Riftwatchers have a lot of value. A lot of them are very meta changing, or at least meta impactful. And therefore, opening packs will always have that value. Now, again, I'm not saying that we sell packs for $25. My point was that if we just continue increasing the price over time, maybe we get to a point we never sell out, right? Because people, like, that value to price ratio, we're going to miss it because we don't really know how to evaluate it. But again, I'm just throwing this idea out there because obviously Riftwatcher packs have been incredibly stagnant. And I do believe that the Riftwatcher for DEC proposal, hopefully when that comes soon, I do plan on voting for that. I think that can make a positive dent because people will start to spend if the value of DEC, falls significantly. And I would say 15% discount is rather significant because now all of a sudden you're getting, 50% discount, 15% discount. Plus, if you do any kind of like bulk buys, you can stack on top of that. Now, could that bring the value of the cards and the secondary packs down a bit? Absolutely. We saw that happen with Chaos Legion. And if it comes over to Riftwatchers, it'll definitely happen there. But once again, I love throwing this number out because, again, just rounding up to 2 million packs available being sold at 5,000 DEC per pack. That's 10 billion DEC, and we barely are above 5.2 billion. So in order to either burn all that DEC or lock it up in the DAO, we'd be burning a lot of SPS. We'd be buying a lot of DEC off of the market in order to take advantage of the discount. We get DEC back up to peg, and we probably burn a lot of SPS. But that is all I have in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this something that you would vote for or against? How would you phrase it? How would you propose it? What are the different things that you would like to see if a proposal like this were to come to light? Just curious, but I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.